So the like and dislike ratio of this video right here with Jey Uso winning the Battle Royale just got leaked, and look what we have here, man. Over 80% of dislikes, dude. 13,630 likes versus a whopping 66,961 dislikes, man. Now, the question is, why are people disliking this, okay? There's a lot of reasons. I do believe that LA Knight should have won that, okay? All of us can agree, LA Knight, his push has been overdue, man, alright? Jey Uso, he doesn't need another push. He doesn't need this to happen. We all know that Jey Uso, if he wins or not, it's just a catalyst for him and Jimmy to have a storyline, right? It's kind of stupid because, look, the World Heavyweight Championship, they haven't had one real storyline with the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins, he's just been floundering around with it, right? Defending his belt only twice, alright? Only twice, okay? Once on Raw, once at Clash in Paris. And what was the premise behind any of this shit? All right, just brawls, cheap ass brawls, cheap ass heat, cheap ass storylines. LA Knight getting mad at the Vision because the Vision keeps getting in his way. Let the guy win already. Like, I don't understand. The guy's already at Blue Chew age, and you're acting as if this guy's like a fresh NXT talent. There's one thing we know for sure, okay? There's gonna be a new champion that will be crowned at Saturday night's main event, whether that's Jey Uso or CM Punk. Honestly, man, either of them, I don't care, okay? They're trash. Both of them, I'm sick and tired of CM Punk. I'm sick and tired of Jey Uso just forced down our throats, right? If Seth Rollins, he comes back and does this ruse, come on, right? There's no real story there either. They're literally just brawling every single time like it's Jersey Shore. I don't want to watch Jersey Shore. I came to watch cinema, and you're giving me Jersey Shore. Look, for me, I just don't like when storylines and characters, they just intertwine with each other, man. All right, there's way too many storylines that are intertwining. There's Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso with Roman Reigns, right, having their fucking fiasco of a feud, right? And then you have Seth Rollins and CM Punk's feud going on at the same time. Then you have Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins' feud that's about to happen, right? All these things are intertwining, and it's getting to the point where it's like, I can't even, like, keep up. Why am I even watching this? There's no reason for it to intertwine. Right? It's just like some Avengers bullshit. They're just fucking throwing together a bunch of stars, a bunch of feuds, all into one melting pot of jobbersy. Okay? I don't want to see it. Who wants to see this, by the way? Jey Uso and CM Punk? Who wants to see that shit? The match is trash. All right, CM Punk, he's slow as hell. He's never been a good wrestler. Okay, that weak-ass spin kick, or that weak-ass roundhouse kick, you know, I used to think it was cool when I was like, what, fucking 8 years old? Yeah, I used to think it was cool. But then I actually grew up, and they're like, oh, shit, this guy can't kick for shit, right? He can't kick for shit, all right? He's never been a good wrestler. It's always been about his storytelling skills, okay, his mic skills, his charisma, his character. But when you strip away that shit, he's just an old dude who can't do anything in the ring, all right? Straight up, okay? With Jey Uso, again, I have no fucking good words to say about Jey Uso. Jey Uso cannot wrestle, right? This guy is one of the most lazy workers. Look at this guy, dude. He's cheating with his wife, right? Walking in the airport and stuff, wearing a backpack like he's a super senior. Get out of here, bro. All right, with Jada Parker, dude, right? I understand, right? I guess, you know, he got, you know, hypnotized by the yams. But guess what? Right? You gotta grow up. Sometimes you gotta fucking look away. Sometimes you gotta do the right thing. Jey Uso is not doing the right thing, man. Cheating on his wife, having an affair while performing this badly in the ring, while being entrenched in these shitty storylines. Come on, dude. Right? Get better, Jey Uso. While being drunk, too. I'm pretty sure this guy got drunk or some shit at a press conference or something. Like, there's just so many things wrong with Jey Uso. Look at this, man. Again, cheating on a Hawaii, Honolulu, going back to Honolulu, whatever, man. This guy, you know, you can't say anything good about Jey Uso, man. He's out of shape. He's cheating, and he can't wrestle, and he can't cut a promo, and he's getting pushed down our throats. Dude, it is insane. It's insane how people think this guy is actually over, okay? It's an illusion. Just think about it for a second. 66,000 people, man. That is a whole WrestleMania attendance booing his ass, all right? Look, the amount of merch sales and pops this guy gets in person has nothing to do with anything. Now, let me tell you why, okay? You might say, oh, Intern John, you're crazy. Isn't that all that matters? No, it doesn't, okay? I have been to the shows, and I have personally seen, all right, this is from my personal experience, I've seen, all right, a Martha and a David with a little kid, right? His kid, what is his name? Tim, right? Timmy, right? A little Timmy, right? Walking around the fucking stadium, prancing around, getting a poutine, getting a burger, getting a hot dog. And then what do they say? The little kid, Timmy, oh my God, Jey Uso, wow, that's his, wow, that's my, whatever. He gets excited and shit for a Yeet shirt, right? He looks at the fucking merchandise and he's like, oh my God, mommy, I want that shit. Boom, he buys it, boom, right? Kevin and Martha, yeah, whatever. They're fucking depressed and they just spent 10 racks on this little kid just to make him happy, okay? That is your, like, top fucking consumer, WWE, all right? These people are the people who are fucking coming to the shows, right? And guess what? I don't blame you as a business. Yeah, you're going to fucking, extract as much money as you can from these people, right? But again, it's watering down the product, all right? They have no business being in that stadium enjoying the show. Why? Because they cheer for the fucking cheapest shit, all right? And I wouldn't be surprised, even the adults. Okay, the adults, they get guilted into buying merchandise. Why? Because they just want to be a part of something. A lot of these people are casual fans that are coming to the WWE shows, right? The live shows. These guys are football fans, baseball fans, basketball fans. You look in the crowd and you see somebody, it's like, yeah, this person is like a new gen. This person has been watching WWE for maybe like 3 to 4 years, right? Bloodline story. That was like their first introduction. Cinema, right? That was their first introduction to WWE. All right, they don't know, right? These guys are new gens. So they just get easily impressed by everything they see, okay? Bronson Reed to them is like Roman Reigns, okay? At least that's the narrative that they're trying to spin on it, right? WWE, they're trying to trick these fools. And that's what they wanted the whole time. They wanted to have a docile, brainless audience, okay? So then they could just manipulate and get you to believe that Bronson Reed is the next Batista, right? Braun Breaker is the next Batista. He's the next Goldberg. He's the next Brock Lesnar, right? They're tricking you. Look, man, I wouldn't be surprised if WWE hired some fake crowd actors, okay? They've done it before, right? Do you guys remember when Jacob Fatu, he pulled like that one guy out of the crowd and apparently Triple H didn't know that he was an actor, right? A crowd actor, right? Think about it, right? Don't you think it's a little strange that 66,000 people have disliked this video, right? With Jey Uso and CM Punk staring down, right? And not one soul, right? Not like a fucking cohort of people. At least like maybe 10,000 people in the arena are booing. 10,000 people. You can hear 10,000 people in a Raw arena, okay? You don't think that WWE, TKO, they all have this thing where they just hire fake actors, okay? Crowd actors with Yeet shirts. They give them free merch and popcorn, disguise them as real fans, and have them cheer for the people that they want to push. Have them cheer for the agenda. Think about it. It's true, okay? A lot of these people are probably fake, fans. Okay, and plus the post-production of piping in the crowd noises, that's true as well. We already know that. That's been around. Okay, but this hiring fake audience members is insane. Okay, and it's true too. The thing is, I remember as a kid, right? I used to go to some auditions and shit, right? And basically they would have these fake people, right? They would train their ass on how to fucking act, right? There was this one where it was like some guy releasing a book or some shit, and basically I was at an audition to try to be his fake fan or some shit, right? I didn't do well. I didn't get the fucking part, but whatever. Okay, I'm just saying it's a thing, okay? And it's been a thing. I think WWE, they've taken this thing to a different level, man. All right, I don't believe for a second people are selling out the shows. I don't believe for a second. There has to be some sort of manipulation within the ticket sales. They're inflating things. They're placing, fake fans. Think about it, man. That Jacob Fatu segment with him pulling the crowd member, right? Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. It's for a spot. But guess what? Don't you think that there's a lot of other people in the crowd that are having the same position of being a fake fan? Right? Cheering for certain people, booing for certain people, not cheering for certain people, right? I think the Karrion Kross thing was organic. Okay? That was organic, and I think what they did is they placed fake fans in the crowd to stop that from happening. Because why? They didn't want fucking Karrion Kross to hijack the show when he's not even with the company anymore. And he shat on Triple H. All right. Hey, just food for thought. Maybe I'm crazy, right? But I do think it's entirely possible. Okay. Shout out Joe Rogan. It's entirely possible that this is happening. Okay. There's a reason why the crowd, oh my God, they're so fired up when Bronson Reed comes out. But when you go online, it's a completely different story. All right. Anyways, you guys already know this is, man. The high rise living work wife stealing intern. Ja.